Hello, hello, and welcome to the ENG YNPL Review Show, where tonight we're looking ahead to a massive set of games for Turnford, with talking points with Kingsway Power or Oldham. Who's going to win it for the under-14s North? Can Turnford overcome two unbeaten teams in the under-12 South? Who will drop from the under-14s North? Oh, it's all getting climbed. Will Shan and Sutton Town remain unbeaten? And we have special guests, Rosie and Lily from Sutton Town. Don't forget to give us your comments, because we love a little bit of a comment, don't we, Richard?
Yes, we do.
And don't forget to follow us on all the wonderful social media things that we're all on, because that's how we update you, don't we, Richard?
Yep. You can always keep in touch with everything we're doing via social media, whether it be events, whether it be the gossip, league tables, fixtures, everything youth netball can be found via our social media outlets. So make sure you follow us, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And I'm actually a blue tick company now on Twitter.
Oh, I keep on forgetting to do that.
You get some good perks. Like I think £11 a month. And I feel like I've paid to be official. It's amazing.
I'm going to have to look into that, my friend. I'm going to have to look into that. As we're saying all that, don't forget, as I like to point out to people, especially to do with FBL Streams Live is where we do all our lovely content for ENG, don't we, matey? And the members chat, just click here. You can click there as well, and it'll let you talk to us, especially when the live streams going, people.
Martin, why don't you plug what you can do now as an alternative service?
I don't know, mate.
What I'll do is I'll snapshot it and stick it on Instagram later.
Okay, what we're doing, I've got a lot of requests for those GCSEs and A-level assessments and stuff. So what we've done, I've just whacked it in here for the moment. But if you let us know in that orange box called Members Chat, we're going to actually allow you to start to download. You just click on it. Oh, it's just going to play this for me. Isn't it? Yeah, because I've already purchased it. I actually purchased it with my money, but you just click here to buy it, and it'll take you through, and then you'll actually be able to download the content and then send it to the board. Apparently it's quite annoying because other thing people do whatever, but it's a bit like, it's not for redistribution, but it is for your own personal copy, so that you can obviously rewatch at your own pleasure, or for instance send it to the examining board, which I think is a massive thing, isn't it, mate? To be fair, it's something I was kind of reluctant to do.
Well, people try and film it themselves, but they got to realize that, number one, what sort of rubbish content is that going to be? And number two, we don't have Martin here or FBL here for them just to lose money by people filming it themselves. So if you want good content, you want something professionally streamed and recorded, which could go towards getting your child a GCSE, then £15 is a small price to pay for what you get from it. And just if you want, I don't know how you could kind of get good content from holding your phone from the side of the court and turn around to your teacher or whoever you send it to and say, this is what I did. It's impossible. So if you want these games you can download them straight into your computer. You can then do what you need to do with them, send it off to who you need to send it off to, and you've got some good professional content, which I can imagine will go a long way, especially when someone's reviewing or marking work and stuff. Just getting that content in that professional way will make a huge difference to the grade you get.
That's a good point, actually. I think they'd look at that and go, actually, this is a proper tournament. This is properly live streamed. This is
a bit like when you get a present and a present's been wrapped lovely. It's got a bow on it. You can see that there's been a lot of effort gone into presenting the present. So already you're happy because it's been presented in a way that shows love, care, appreciation for what they're doing. But if you're holding up a phone and saying, oh, by the way, here's a bit of content for my GCSE, then I'm sorry, instantly you're going to be like, oh, come on, put some effort into it.
Do you know what? That's a good point, actually. I can imagine they get a lot, because you got to think of that. Actually, we haven't dedicated any time for this, but that's quite a good little point, actually. They must watch a hell of a lot of stuff just with a handhold rocking.
Mobile phone, it must be absolutely excruciating.
And then they're probably sat there watching all the quarters, going, oh, can we watch more? You know what I mean? Now, next game's here, you have to pay for that one. But, you know, yeah, that's quite a good point, actually. I think it will actually make you look better.
It will go, I can assure you it will go a long way. Someone looking at that would be more engaged and just generally happy with how it's presented. So first impressions are key.
I have. Well done. Well done for making me point that one out. And don't forget, fill out the members chat. Just put it in there. What game, what date, and we'll obviously put it on in that area. But we're going to move that to your wonderful ENG leagues, mate. We're going to probably, I don't know, probably put it over at the top or at the bottom or something, just around here. I don't know. Where do you reckon? Top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
All right, cool. Right, let's move on with the show, as they say. Now we've done that. So,
yep.
I don't know where my mouse has gone. My mouse is everywhere.
It was this week we did the under 14s Youth Netball Premier League, and we were in Manchester. To conduct what is a very competitive league. And let's have a look at the results.
Oh yeah,
from the day before we check out the main highlights.
Nearly put the thing on there. Right, there we go. Add to the stream. There we go.
So
the table.
So it was a big week for a lot of teams because this was make or break whether they got into top 4, whether they went for the championship, whether they're fighting for relegation. So Oaksway kicked us off against Saddleworth. Both teams had not won a game built leading into this game, and it was Oaksway who won a very competitive game against Saddleworth. Don't forget, this Saddleworth team are iconic because they were the first team ever to win our under 12s league a few years back, and they've still got a few players who play in that team. So 35-29 to Oaksway. Then Wire took on Chester, and for Wire, this was a make or break game in regards to whether they could potentially push for the top 4. They pushed Chester throughout the whole game. They never really seemed to get in front at any point, but seemed to kind of knock at the door consistently throughout the game. But Chester just a little bit too strong in the end. Both teams kind of were ravaged with people missing due to half term or injury as well. So we probably didn't get the best possible game because of personnel. But I always like watching players step in who maybe come in from B teams, and they always do a great job. And I really hope coaches look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to use you more often, or you potentially have done better than someone who regularly plays. So great. So when players go missing or get injured, it's a great opportunity for so-called B players to come in and show what they can do. So Wyatt and Chester, both of those sets of players, well done. Oaksway then played Kingsway Power. Oaksway started way too slow. Kingsway Power 10-12, like 10-1 or 10-2. Yes. You see their warm-up. Like, I was watching their warm-up and I was thinking anyone kind of looking at that across the court would be terrified. It was just the intensity of the warm-up was enough to scare you. But it's that intensity they put into the warm-up and they're ready. A bit like Mike Tyson. He's ready for the fight when he's walking into the ring. Do you know what I mean? And they just blew Oaksway out in the first quarter. Oaksway at a lot of the game looked just as good as Kingsway Power, but you know what defines the win or the loss is the smaller margins, and Kingsway Power just do those smaller things a lot better than most teams. So Kingsway Power stayed unbeaten, 44-19. Then Saddleworth played Wyatt. We love a draw. We love a close game. Saddleworth looked like they were winning this game up until the final 6 minutes.
Can I just add to the last few minutes? We lost comms with your scoring team, and it was just like I was looking at going, this goal's gone in. I was like, oh no. The pad's gone down. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! But the game's too good. I want to. It's like, what's going on? Oh my god! You can't fix something in time, and it's a bit like, oh my word, what is this? And I didn't even know the score, and I was like, what? And then obviously you read out the score later. But it was just like, whoa! I bet people at home going, the score's not going up, and people lose count. You know what I mean? But I think that added to the dramatic of that game.
Yeah.
It was just
Wire they went ahead with like 30 seconds to go. And then Saddleworth scored, and there wasn't enough time for Wire to score to win the game. But it was a great comeback. Saddleworth, even though they remain bottom of the table, they showed how good this league is. A good close game against Oaksway, who come 5th overall last season in the whole entire country. And then drawing against Wye in a game they probably, if you look at where they were in the game, should have won. So the strength and depth of this league is unbelievable when you've got bottom place teams competing against 5th place overall from last season, which is a fantastic. Just shows how competitive the league is. So well done to Saddleworth. Then the final game of the first section of games, Chester versus Oldham, started very competitively. Like I said before, Chester were missing a few key players. Oldham in the end wore them down. It was a good game, good quality game, but Oldham had too much strength and depth in their team. So Chester kind of faded in the later part of the game. So, but I think Chester getting the win against Wyre was a massive thing, and it made kind of the Oldham defeat less painful, if that makes any sense. So, second half of Kingsway Power were looking to win 6 out of 6 against Ribble Valley. Very good competitive game. Ribble Valley stayed in the game for large periods. Got a bit, I don't know if you noticed it, it got a bit silly in the first quarter. Both teams engaging in just a bit of rough and tumble and trying to disrupt each other mentally. It happens. If you haven't played competitive high-level sport before, you just wouldn't understand. But unfortunately, this stuff happens in these type of high-level games.
I pretty much Ribble Valley off, and you said to me, "No, I think it's going to be a pretty good game," and you were right.
I did. Like when I watch how Kingsway Power started against Oaksway, I just didn't feel Ribble Valley could keep up with their intensity. But Ribble Valley, they just decided, we're not going to be a victim. We're not going to allow, Kingsway Power just a steamroller us. And
proud of you, Ribble.
They put up a great fight, and the umpires had to speak to the players and calm them down a little bit. And once it calmed down, both teams played some great netball. And in the end, Kingsway Power won the game. But it was a good game of netball, very enjoyable to watch. And I liked how Kingsway Power coped with the physical nature of Ribble Valley. I think sometimes they allow that side of the game to get to them a bit too much. When you're unbeatable, when you've won trebles and you're looking to win another treble, if you think teams are just going to rock up and just go, oh, by the way, you can just pass it around us and run, spin us around and make us dizzy. You got another thing coming. You are the best team in the country, and teams will do everything they can to disrupt how you play, your temperament, and that's like the art of war, really, isn't it? It's how can you take someone out of their comfort zone and kind of get them to kind of rethink what they're doing. And I think Kingsway Power just need to improve a little bit on just their temperament when they feel teams are being a bit aggressive, or then they don't like certain challenges or certain things that girls are doing, or what coaches are saying. They think they get too emotionally attached to the game a little bit, so they need to work on that, in my eyes. If that would be my advice. But yeah, good game overall. Well done to Kingsway Power, but also well done to Ribble Valley.
Definitely.
Then next up, Macclesfield against Leeds. Leeds is practically their under-13s team. What an awesome team Leeds Athletic are. 36-16 against a good, strong Macclesfield team. Then Grangetown played Oldham. Oldham recorded their 6th win out of 6 against a very brave, and like we said prior last week, the league's kind of underdog. They just survived relegation, being relegated last season, but now are pushing for the top 4. So a big improvement in Grangetown's performances. So well done, Oldham. But Grangetown again performed well, good performance. Then Ribble played Leeds. Another good game. I like watching teams like Ribble. They're just a no nonsense team in regards to how they approach games. But Leeds have got the skill. they're tough as well. You know, they're skillful and they're tough. So that's a bad combination if you want to disrupt a certain team like Leeds. And 28-22, it was a good, again, great quality netball, very physical. Love those type of games. So well done to Leeds. They're now pushing towards the top 4. And the final game of the day was Grangetown versus Macclesfield. Big game for Grangetown, because if they'd have lost this one, they probably would have been out of the race for the top 4. But they got the win, 27-24, which condemned Macclesfield to a relegation battle stroke championship finals kind of battle. So they're in that zone of, will we get relegated or will we go to the championship finals? So before we go to the league table and look at how all these results have affected the table, Martin, let's look at the highlights from Saturday's round 3.
Okay. some quality moments in that, especially with no FBL streamers live at the end of that. But but I love the ball on the ring. Oh, obviously on the net. I say the ring, but just sat there. It was like I was like, are we going to wait for an earthquake? I was like, oh, probably bad thing to say. But just going. But there was a bit you've got to tell me about, which was the to give you that extra footage from when they collided and they spread out, and obviously the ball and the goal. What was it?
The Ribble Valley girl.
Yeah. There's just.
Do you not see the shot at the end where the Oldham player went to pass and it went straight in the net?
And I'm about to say that, and that one when you told me about it, and I went back, didn't I? And I rewatched it in the van on the way because I'd missed it because I was doing something else. But probably tech issues. But yeah, it's one of those things of like I didn't even see it, and when you said about it, and it was like that was great. That's just 1 in a million, isn't it? It's just.
Yeah, you could try it about 50,000 times and it will never happen again.
And I say, like, if there's one thing I say about my live streaming and why I pursue the avenue of what I go down and why I do it, it's for those moments in life.
Yeah.
That would That would never been. You could tell that story a million times, but it's like, yeah, right, whatever. But you can actually show that. That's just quality.
Well, the girls know I was speaking. Well, the girls stand behind me sometimes when I'm doing this, when I'm helping do the score taking and stuff. And
do you really help?
I'm just really and enjoying the netball, but they're all just really pent up about getting on the highlight reel now. They're all thinking of how do I get on this. So more there's going to be more like as this league kind of keeps maturing. You're going to be some crazy passes like
going to show off
passes
camera,
crazy shots because they want the highlight reel. But let's have a look at the table.
Yeah, I was going to say also we got the behind the scenes you don't realize this, people, but they actually get to watch the live streams as well as they're happening, obviously as the game's happening, and it's like get the pop, mate. You're not selling popcorn. You should be selling popcorn.
Too messy. Too messy. But yeah, there we go. So
watching it.
Top of the table, Kingsway Power. Yeah. But unlike last season, their goal difference is not as great as Oldham. So Oldham are there in regards to the goal difference this season. So it probably won't matter the goal difference when it comes down to it, but maybe just a little psychological thing as well. So both Kingsway Power and Oldham have 12 points. Kingsway Power top, Oldham second. But if you notice, Kingsway Power score more, but they concede more. Oldham score less, but they concede less. So when they come to play each other, you've got the best attack potentially against the best defense.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to be an interesting game then.
It will be interesting. Chester 8 points, Leeds 8 points, Grangetown 8 points. Grangetown played a game more. Grangetown play Leeds in round 4.
Okay.
So big game in a sense that whoever wins that potentially might be the one qualifying for the grand final. So yeah, and Chester got a lot of work to do. We'll look at the fixtures in a minute for round 4. But yeah, those 3 teams fighting it out for the grand finals. Then we have Wyre, Ribble Valley, Macclesfield in 6th, 7th, and 8th. It looks like I don't think Ribble Valley will get drawn into the relegation scrap, but they're sitting there in a very dangerous position. I think Wyre have done enough now not to worry about being relegated. And it's all about probably now seeing what position they can come in the league to give them the best possible game going into the championship finals. But again, for me, the surprising thing is Oaksway being down in 9th place.
Yeah,
I'm really tough games coming up. And it does look, it's quite scary actually that they find themselves in this position. They've got some really tough games coming up. They probably need, I would say, 1 win to get themselves out of relegation and potentially be safe. But it's going to be a tough one. And Saddleworth, they actually play Macclesfield in the last game of the season. So if Macclesfield fail to win up until the last game and they play Saddleworth, that could be a decider on who goes down in the league.
Yeah. So, mate, that league is action all over.
Let's do a quick discussion on.
Oh, I've lost you. You seem to have been. Your picture seems to have stopped. Are you still there? Oh, no, I think we might have lost Richard. Oh, no, he's back. There we go.
So, Martin, let's have a quick, you watch a lot of this netball now and stuff.
Do you think
will win this league now? Kings with Power, Oldham?
I think it'll be Kingsway Power, but I think it's going to be Now Biting. I really do. Because Kingsway Power, to me, again, the Empire, but, again, Empire can strike back, as they say. So, Oldham are good, like you said, their defense and Kingsway attack. But do you know what? Sometimes
can I just show you something? If
Go
you
ahead.
can go on the start of the third quarter, Kingsway Power against who did they? Was it Oaksway? I think it might be Oaksway or Ribble. I think it's Oaksway. Or was it Ribble in that highlight reel? Was it Ribble or?
Oh, you want to go on the
No, not the highlight. Just going because it's a better quality. If you go onto the third quarter against, so they've gone there. No, it's against Oaksway. Kingsway Power versus Oaksway at the start of the third quarter.
So was it stream 3?
Yeah, against Oaksway. Yeah, Kingsway Power, Oaksway.
Oh, hang on, it was stream 1 then. Wasn't it? No, it's Saddleworth. There we go. So what quarter? Sorry, what did you say?
Start of the third quarter.
Take the sound out of it. Third quarter. Let's make it bigger. There we go. That's better. So third quarter. Excuse me.
Sorry, it's Ribble. Kingsway Power versus Ribble.
Sorry, right. Kingsway Power. Want to make any more changes now while I'm here? We'll do it live. I feel like I'm on what do you call it? What did it say? There we go. How much time?
No, the very start of the third quarter.
Very start, right. There we go.
If you go to the centre, if you go to the centre pass, the very start.
Right, okay, yeah.
Now, for me, if you want to have a chance of beating a team like Kingsway Power, this is the type of thing you need to shut down. It's incredible. Like the speed of play is unbelievable. But if we pause it there quickly,
I knew you were going to say that.
If you
excuse me,
that's the goal attack. What we need to look at is the wing attack for Kingsway Power, because she's instrumental in this whole build-up play.
Okay.
Now, she not only will receive the ball initially, she will be involved in 3 or 4 different sequences of play before the ball goes into the shooting circle and they score.
Right.
So if I was a coach, I would look at, okay, she's been trained to receive this ball 3-4 times, get it into the shooting, and so she's the playmaker.
Yeah.
How do I shut down the playmaker? So this type of information you put out.
Sorry, just give me one second. Hi, Rosie. We know you're in the background. So we'll be with you in a minute. Rosie's just waving at the camera, and I'm like, "Yeah, we know you're there, Rosie. We're with you in a minute. Don't worry."
So this kind of sequence of play for coaches who say, for everyone who says to me, "It's about us. It's not about them," is utter garbage. It is garbage. It's because yes, it's about you, but you have to prepare for who you're playing.
Yeah.
And knowing is better than not knowing. Now, you can play against someone 50,000 times, but it's the different ball game, stepping outside the circle, stepping outside the box and looking in. So this allows you to look inside and kind of pinpoint what you can do and what you can do to stop this type of thing happening regular. So if you just play it.
Right, okay.
If you watch their wing attack, here you go. Look, here she goes. Bang. There, she receives the ball. So she's gone out to come in, and she's come into the center of the court.
I'm going to rewind that a little bit because I kind of missed it a little bit. So, why can't I just go back 10 seconds? There we go. So she's here, but they kind of moved out, didn't they?
Well, she moved around her to then come back in.
All right, let's just take it back a little bit. Let's have a look. Put a little bit of sound on it as well. There we go. So she's here in the background, isn't she? Is that what you're saying? Yep, she's just there. Right. Okay. Right. So she's blocking her. Right. Yeah.
Watch the movement.
Right. Yeah. See, she's still there. These are quite stationary, aren't they? So, right. Yeah. Okay. She's just also watching. Yeah. She went straight in there, didn't she?
Well, she dropped her shoulder to the left to then come in to the right. But if now she's moved in and she's got the ball again, that's a third, fourth, fifth. So she's dictated the entire play of that game.
Well, exactly. This is the whole point about watching the footage, but that's what I say about Kingsway Power. You know, it is the Empire. You know, the opening sequence when you see all the troops all lined up and then they all march and they do they already have their game plan down. So, but also I love what you do because obviously I'm just chasing the ball when I'm obviously looking, doing the filming and stuff. But you look at the game and you're able to see these things. So obviously the other coaches are too. And I know there's a certain coaches who spoke to me and said they can't live without the live stream anymore. You know, they have their coaches plan because they review stuff like you do. But it's very, very interesting that you spotted that.
Well, just little stuff like that will make a big difference. But I think for me, like, Kings of Power, the favourites to win. But you can see, I think it's the emotional side of their game that is their kind of chink in their armour. And we've seen it a couple of times this season now where they've kind of been a little bit unstable on the court because they feel decisions are not going their way or a team's a bit too aggressive. And that could be their chink in the armour when we get further into, the championship games and the grand finals and stuff. But on top of, I think that's the only kind of flaw in their game. But working out that type of pattern of play is the key thing, I think, to stopping them being as successful, especially on centre passes, because you hardly ever see them drop a centre pass.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
All right.
But go back to the league table quickly before we got to get these girls in. We don't want to keep them too late. So we go back to the table. So for me, I'm gonna put my neck out here, and I'm going to go for an Oldham win.
Oh, all right. The challenge has been accepted. I'm with you, Kingsway. He's with the Oldham, right?
And I'm going to say Chester and Leeds will come in the top 4. Grangetown and the 4. Oh, I think, would it be Oaksway? Would it be Macclesfield? Gonna say Oaksway over Macclesfield. Sorry, Macclesfield. I'm a big fan of you, but I think Oaksway may be a little bit too strong going into the final games, and I think they'll pick up the win they need in order to qualify for the championship finals. And can Saddleworth survive? It's going to be a tough one. If they have to beat Macclesfield, they definitely can do it. But again, some tough fixtures coming up for them, and I just think it's going to be too tough for them to get out of the position they're in.
I agree with you on that. I think they've got a massive uphill, but things happen, mate.
Let's quickly scan the next set of fixtures for this league before we get the girls in.
March 18th. Yep.
So March 18th, Saddleworth versus Chester, Kingsway Power versus Wyre, Saddleworth versus Leeds, Chester versus Kingsway Power, big game, Wyre versus Oldham. Then we have Leeds Athletic versus Grangetown, Oldham versus Oaksway, Grangetown versus Ribble Valley, and Oaksway versus Ribble Valley. So Oaksway, Ribble Valley, huge game. That could push Ribble Valley into some sort of relegation scrap. Grangetown against Leeds and Ribble Valley, if they can get 2 wins there, book the open top bus, because that would be one heck of an achievement. Oldham versus Oaksway, again, a game last season that we were thinking it would be a top 4 battle, but not this season. So Oldham better not take Oaksway lightly, because they are still a dangerous, very talented team. Chester versus Kingsway Power, a very good game should be if Chester have their full squad out. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. And let's have a look. Saddleworth, again, 2 tough games for them, but that's what March the 18th is looking like. And
there's some good games there, mate.
Some really good games.
To be
Let's
honest,
get the girls in though from Sutton Town. We have Lily and we have Rosie from Sutton Town Netball Club talking about this Saturday's games in the ENG Under-12s Youth Netball Premier League Southern Conference. Hello, girls. How are you?
And hello, Fish.
Good.
Did you go for the fish tank effect on purpose, Lily, or did you just find yourself sitting there?
Just the spot we chose.
Did your mum say get in front of the fish tank?
That looks cool. I love a good fish tank. They're very impressive. Very impressive.
Rosie, what look have you gone for?
A
leisure centre look.
The leisure centre look.
You don't live in a leisure centre, do you, Rosie?
Do the keep myself busy, making sure I work.
Do you live in the leisure centre, Rosie?
Pretty much.
Okay, girls, we won't keep you too long because we don't want to affect maybe some homework being done or getting to bed before school. Or is it half term yet? No, it's not half term in your area, is it?
Friday.
Oh, Friday, so it's practically half term, so you can go home. You can go to bed a little bit later. But you both play for Sutton Town. You're both stars of this under-12s team. Unbeaten this season so far, and you've got if we go to the south now, you've got Turnford this week, which is a tricky game. And let me just double check: is it Western Park Blades you've got? You probably know more than me. Let's go to the thing. AP Saints. So AP Saints to come third in our Netball Cup, improving team. So this weekend, will Sutton Town under-12s stay unbeaten? And that goes to you, Rosie.
We're kind of just taking each game like one at a time. So I think that we could.
Are you
head in the game?
Both teams, AP Saints and Turnford. AP Saints are fighting relegation, but they are improving. They come third in our Netball Cup competition on Sunday, and they played some good netball. They did well. They've definitely improved from when the season started. But Turnford, they are Turnford. Like Turnford's a big club. They've got a big reputation. Do you feel you're good enough to beat Turnford this weekend?
Definitely. Well, not definitely, but
dog in the background.
That'd be good.
How about you, Lily? What are your thoughts on the two games at the weekend?
I think they're both going to be tough games, but I think we can come out with the win for both of them.
And what have you kind of identified the strengths of Turnford or the weaknesses? Do you know what area of the court to attack?
I think they're like attack and defense. They're both like really put together. They'll work really well together. I think the connections are really they've thought about it really well. So we just got to kind of shut them down.
Well, if some of their players play a lot better, it's because some of them come to my workshop on Monday in High Wycombe, and we really worked on triggers. So on the court, when a player gets the ball, how does that trigger you as a player? Where do you move as a player? And if you notice a big improvement in their mid-court play, then don't blame me, girls. Okay, but if you win these two games, you set yourself up for a fantastic end to the season where you will play what looks like a title decider against Shan. You must be excited about that potential outcome.
Yeah.
And it means you would be the first team from the Midlands to win a major ENG title. So do you think that pressure, is that a good pressure to have or bad pressure?
Really good pressure.
Great.
You're going to set the benchmark for the Midlands, because the Midlands, even though your Sutton Town have won a few events in the past, but this is a major title. This is like, you've got county boxing titles and you've got world boxing titles, and this is the equivalent to kind of a world boxing title. You're going to put. Do you feel potentially you're going to put yourself on a pedestal that will put more pressure on you going forward?
It's hard to say now, but I think probably, yes.
And I think, Lily, you would probably thrive in that pressure as well, wouldn't you? Lily,
you're all quite casual. You all seem like, yeah, all right. Yeah, okay, Richard. Yeah, we can deal with it. Not a problem. Is that how it really is? Is this how the training?
Each game as it comes.
Hey, girls. We obviously do these highlight reels now. Do you kind of think prior to the games now what you can potentially do to get onto the highlight reels, or does that not come? Because I speak to people now and they're desperate to get in the highlights. So they're trying new things. They're trying different types of passes and different types of shots. Does that come into your thought pattern when you're playing in the league?
No.
Not really.
Are you allowed to get away with that? Is the question. Coach doesn't like that. Don't you show off? You play your game. You stay in formation.
I was offering out chocolate bars to anyone who pass it through someone's legs on Saturday, but no one took me up on the offer.
I'll do that.
You gonna try it, Rosie?
Go on then.
Be able to do it, but
if it messes up, your mum probably won't be too happy, will she? No, I wouldn't want to get your mum angry.
Careful.
Don't do it, Rosie. Do not do it. So, confident you can get 2 wins out of 2, girls?
yeah.
Let's have a quick look at your table very quickly.
Taking out.
Let's have a look at the fixtures for this weekend. Rosie, do you have a pen and paper to hand at all?
Probably do, but it's over there. Shall I go get it?
Yeah, quickly go and get it. Go on. So while Rosie's getting her pen and paper, let's have a look at the under 12s table, Martin.
Oh, I didn't think you wanted to look at the table. Okay, fair enough. I'll bring it up. Let's bring it in. Oh, why has it done that? Sorry. Computer loves doing its thing. There we go.
It's green. Does that matter?
No, that's fine. Matter. That's fine. That'll do the job. So here we go. Shan top currently. You're second. Stars for Turnford fourth. These will be Turnford's last games of the season because a team dropped out. And it's driving me absolutely potty. Absolutely, they just absolute time wasters, doing my head in. Then you got Team Bridge in 5th, Magic 6th, Western Park Blade 7, Ryland 8th, Poole 9th, All Stars 10th, AP Saints 11th, and obviously Eagles, who are not in the league, are currently in 12th. If we look at the fixtures quickly.
You're making me work today, mate. There you go.
And so Ryland will take on Magic. Magic on a massive high at the moment because they've won the Eastern Netball Cup on Sunday. They did, didn't they? Yeah, they're on a massive high. Then they play Ryland, good game. Then they'll play Western Park Blades. Then Team Bridge will play Western Park Blades. Bit of a messy morning because of the team that dropped out. Then Sutton Town, they will play AP Saints. Then AP Saints will play Shan. Turnford will then play Sutton Town. And then Shan will play Turnford. So looks like a very competitive afternoon. What's your predictions? Let's do quick predictions, girls. Who will win out of Ryland and Magic? Lily, go.
Magic.
Rosie, go.
Magic.
Okay, we're going to come back to this and see how right you are. So Magic versus Western Park Blades. Rosie.
Oh. Go on, mate. Quick.
Come on, Rosie. Go on. It's not a life or death question.
Magic.
Lily.
I agree, Magic.
Oh, they're not disagreeing with each other yet. Team Bridge versus Western Park Blades. Lily.
Team Bridge.
Oh, so Western Park Blades are not getting any massive back in here, right? Okay, interesting.
So Sutton Town, AP Saints. Rosie.
Sutton Town.
Lily.
Sutton.
Shan versus AP Saints. Lily.
Shan.
Rosie.
Shan.
Turnford versus Sutton Town. Lily.
Sutton.
Turnford, was that? You say Turnford?
Hi.
Rosie. And Shan versus Turnford. Rosie, who are you going for?
Shan.
Turnford.
Controversial.
Right. Okay.
We're So you disagree, or maybe because Lily's trying to do that kind of psychological. No, if I think it, it will be it type of attitude.
Maybe.
Well, trust me, Turnford, they are a sleeping giant within this league. They've had a kind of a stop-starty season. They've had a few losses and stuff, but I think their best performances are upon us, and I think Saturday is probably the best time to bring out those performances.
And I think that are Western Park Blades, mate. I think they're actually they've had a bit of a bumpy. Last game they played, they've done really well. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
no, well, that was the under 14s. That was the under 14s.
Oh, was it? Okay. Then.
Yeah, not the under 12s.
Sorry. All right. Well done.
So, girls, what we do is we do a quiz. We basically test your knowledge on the league. And the winner goes into a national finals quiz master draw.
Ta-da!
Like
you can be on the table. That Richard doesn't update.
I've got to update 2 people on there.
And put it in score order, please.
I'm going to lose.
I've got this OCD, girls, you see. I got this thing that, he does this to me. It drives me nuts. It's like you got 12, 10, 10, 10, 12, 11, 9, 11. It's like, I can't handle it. Just put it in order.
Girls, whoever wins this gets onto that scoreboard.
Oh, no.
When I can be bothered to update
I would like to say you'd go on top, but you could be in the middle or the bottom. It doesn't matter what score you get.
It doesn't matter where you go. As long as you get on it, that's the main thing. So
there you go.
We're going to ask you 6 questions. They're worth 12 points. And the winner, obviously, is the person who gets most right. Most of the questions if you were looking at Martin's stream, you would have seen. Hopefully, you've got a good memory, but a lot of them just guess it. Don't worry too much about it. I'm going to do multiple choice. So, if you get it right and you guessed, well done. Okay. First question. How many goals have been scored in this season's under-12 Southern Conference so far? Was it 1,504, 1,505, or 1,506? So how many goals have been scored? Lily has definitely been doing her homework because she's waiting for the number to hit her ear.
She's smiling. Definitely smiling. There we go.
So how many goals have been scored? 1,504, 1,505, or was it 1,506? Happy, girls?
Yeah.
Cool.
Rosie, you don't look too happy. You're a bit like, all right, move on.
I'm gonna get Lily on this because she wouldn't have been able to study for this question.
Okay.
How many of those goals have been scored by the top 4 teams?
Oh.
So
even I did that, Rosie. I was like, what?
Was it 750, 760, or 770? So out of all those goals that have been scored, how many have been scored by the top 4 teams?
That's a good
question.
Is
it 750, 760, or 770? Happy? Who are the current top 4 teams in the league in no specific order? Write them down.
I got a good bonus question at the end, by the way, mate.
Well, there's no point having a bonus question because we can only have 12 points.
All right.
You've got to tell me about the bonus question before we come on air, mate.
But it didn't happen till just now. I had a great
thought. You
thought.
can't go to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and say, but I want to throw.
I think the bonus question should be, how many fish are in the tank?
Yes.
And Lily, if you get that wrong, we will never let you live it down.
Okay. Who are the current 4 teams in the championship qualifying positions? So from 5th to 8th, who are those teams? In no particular order, write them down. You get a point for each. Rosie's like, oh, God.
I don't know this.
I've done too much practice at the gym here. I was doing too many press-ups. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Been working too hard. Right, there we go.
My brain's stopped.
So what you're doing your exams, Lily? Do you just start sitting like, okay, right.
Feels like I'm in maths exam.
Sorry?
Feels like I'm in a maths exam.
Go ahead.
I was about to be a bad adult human there and go, well, I never went to my exam. Don't want to encourage bad behaviour. Okay. Next, you happy, girls?
Yeah.
No.
If you think of it, Rosie, while we're talking, write it down.
Okay.
Okay. Who won the Under-12 Southern Conference last season? Was it Eagles? Was it Stars? Or was it AP Saints?
Da-da-da.
Sorry.
Lily's really thinking. She wants that horse, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah. Three-legged one, isn't it?
Oh, you're not going to upgrade to the 4?
No, not yet. People need to buy more tickets. Who has scored most goals in the league so far? What team?
Ooh.
Is it Shan? Is it Sutton Town? Or is it Stars? You gonna give it a guess, Rosie?
I feel like I literally looked at the table yesterday and my mind's gone blank since you're asking me all these questions.
I'm like that, Rosie. When we drive back from Manchester, when Richard drives back from Manchester, we were talking about a film or whatever. I couldn't. One of my favourite films. I couldn't remember a quote from it. I'll tell you. I was just like, and he was coming out of them all, and I'm like, how can I not remember one quote? I know it like the back of my hand. He's laughing at me.
We should film our conversations on the way up to Manchester.
Not all of them.
Okay, girls, that is the end of the quiz. That was so exciting. Now, the even more exciting bit is basically telling you if you've won or lost. Right. Let's do this.
I like the way he always says, get a pen and paper, okay? And then when it comes to like writing it all down, we then have to wait for him to get a piece of pen and paper. Every week. It's just like, I've got paper, I've got a pen, and I'm the geek. I'm the one who likes typing.
Found the Mars bar.
Hey, that's mine. It's mine.
Okay, Martin, you're gonna do the scores for me.
Oh, why did I say I had a pen and paper? Oh no.
Okay.
Right,
first question was, how many goals have been scored in the ENG Under-12 Southern Conference so far this season? Was it 1,503, 1,505, 1,506? Rosie, what did you put?
1,505.
Lily?
1,505.
Both wrong.
Oh, well, that was easy to write down then.
1,506.
0.
Right. How many of those goals have been scored by the top 4 teams? Was it 750, 760, 770? Lily, what have you put?
760.
Rosie?
770.
Lily's right.
Oh. Lily has 1.
So
Rosie
1 point to Lily so far.
Oh no!
Top 4 teams in the league. It's a point for every team you get right. Rosie, go.
Bonus.
Shan, Sutton Town, Turnford. I forgot the last one.
So Shan, Sutton Town, Turnford.
Come on, straight off the top of your head. Just think of it.
Who was it? Was it Magic?
Right. Hold it there, Martin. Lily, who have you got?
Shan, Sutton Town, Turnford, and Stars.
Rosie gets 3 points. Lily gets 4 points.
Oh,
it was Stars, Rosie. It was Stars.
So
they all get my brain mixed up. Magic and Stars are the same.
Who are the current teams?
Sorry, Lily got 4 points. Yeah.
So Lily got 4. Rosie got 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Who are the current teams in the championship finals? Go, Lily.
I put TTNC, Magic, Ryland, and Western Park Blades.
Rosie?
I put TTNC, Magic, AP Saints, and Stars.
Okay, Martin, give Rosie 2 points. Give
3.
Lily 4 points.
Oh, I'm gonna run out of paper here, Lily. Go on.
Right. Who won the under-12s Southern Conference last season? Would you put down, Rosie?
I put Stars.
Lily, would you put down?
Stars.
Give them both a point each, Martin.
There we
Mine.
go. Done.
And who has scored most goals in the league? Lily, who have you put down?
I put Stars.
Rosie?
Shan.
Lily gets the point. And Martin, you can do the honour
Well
of
done.
giving the results out.
Okay. Rosie is on 6 and Lily is on 11.
Lily, you win with 11 points. You're going into our leaderboard in the next 6 months when I update it.
Yay! Leaderboard, leaderboard, update leaderboard,
Girls, good luck this weekend in your fixtures, and it's going to be two tough games, but the Turnford game is the big game. So good luck in that, and we'll see you on Saturday for hopefully a good game of netball.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. How cool. There you go. Brilliant.
So they are playing in the big games of this round is Turnford. They play their final 2 games of the season, and they're playing the 2 teams that are unbeaten this season. So a very big weekend ahead. If Turnford win both games, the best they could do is probably still only get 3rd, and that's how competitive this kind of league is. They've just ran. Hold on. I
was going to say no, mate.
They could actually win the league because they've got points in the bank from the March 18th. So if they win both games, they can end the season with 18 points. So they can potentially give themselves a great chance of coming 2nd or potentially winning the league. I think winning it is very unlikely, even if they do win 2 times. But 2nd place would become a reality.
Mate, I'm looking at that, and actually, they could, because I'll tell you what, it could end up with like all on 16 sort of thing. That's how crazy it could be. It'd be like, because what we've got Shan. If they lose to Turnford, they go, and then Turnford goes up to 14. Sutton, if they lose to Turnford, then Turnford goes up to 16. And then if Shan
and Sutton Town and Shan win their games, they're on 16.
They're on 16.
Turnford have got a win in the bank. So they've got 18 points. So they'll be 2 points clear at the top. Yeah,
but that's for the next round, isn't it? So what I'm looking at is Stars. Well, Stars don't play to the next round, do they?
So Stars play.
But they'll have game in hand, Stars, won't they? Because they'll be.
And they play Magic.
Oh no, they won't. No. So Stars would actually
drop.
So Stars would actually be in 4th, where you'd have all 3 of those in. Woo, mate! That's like
Yeah.
If there's one thing you want to watch, is definitely this league, I would say, because it's
building up for a good ending, isn't it?
Wow, yeah. I mean, you say good ending. It's not even It's not even. We're not even at the end. We still got another 2 rounds to go after this.
Yeah, well, we've got a bit of on March 18th. We've got 5 games. So we got just a morning session, and then on the 30th we've got 3 games, which culminates in like with the under 13s. So very good, exciting end to the season coming up.
That's Saturday's going to be. They can't let Turnford win is the answer to the question.
But if we look at like Western Park Blades, if they get 2 wins, that takes up to 10 points. Team Bridge, they can they finished their games this week. They've got a win already on the board, but they play Western Park Blades, and that will see them finish on 12 points, which won't be enough to get them into the top 4. The top 4 will be the top 4. That is, make no mistake about it. That will be the top 4.
I'll be very, very surprised you know, as I say, I'd eat my hat if that top four, you know what I mean, breaks up. There, you know, that's just the way it is now. All they'll do is trying to find the top space for the championships, isn't it? So, yeah. But
the only team that could potentially push into that, but I think the goal difference is not great, is Magic. If they win the rest of their games, they will end up on 14 points. And even Western Park Blades could end up on 14 points. So could Ryland. But it's the goal difference that is the killer. That's like having an extra point.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. But
maybe because someone said to me, why don't you do it on head-to-head next season? Instead of goal difference, you base which team is higher based on their head-to-head in the league.
Right, explain that about the head-to-head.
So they started doing it in football. So just say, for instance, Turnford have got the same, Stars and Sutton Town, right?
Yeah.
They're all three. So Shan and Sutton Town, whoever's top is dictated by goal difference, isn't it?
Right.
But how you could dictate it is not on goal difference, is on what was the score when them two teams played each other in.
Right. I thought that's what you meant. Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. So that's good.
I don't know whether that would make it more competitive. I'm not sure, but. I think goal difference is good because it encourages teams to always want to score.
Sorry?
Doing the goal difference bit is good because it always encourages teams to score regardless of what the score is.
Yeah. I think, sorry, Steve just put great interview, girls, which is amazing interview, by the way. Definitely agree with you there, Steve. Yeah, I suppose that brings it, doesn't it? It brings it to it'd be a mathematical nightmare for you because you're going to have to start quickly working out how those teams do and, you know, work out your goal difference.
You've got a freeway battle. How do you then work out?
That's a good point.
That team won that team and that team beat that team, and it's just a mess.
Well, I suppose, that's I suppose you would put all three. I don't know. Let us know in the comments, people, what your idea of it is. But because we can then potentially have a four-way there. I don't know, but I think, you know, goal difference is a good way of doing it. You know, because what is it you do? Isn't it goal difference? Goals for and then goals
against. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you got. I suppose you could do that as the fourth thing, but you're not going to get a different goal difference, really. I don't think, will you? So I don't know, mate. I think there's always interesting ways of doing it. Maybe we'll look at it. Look at the stats for next year and just have a look at that and see how that would have panned out. Would it have changed things? Would it have made things even more intense, especially if it's the last game of the season? Because you can then start having things like if they start drawing on points, how many they need to score.
Yeah.
And that is something I'm bringing in with the league tables, you know, with things that we're building in, is that live score updates of where they are in the league, you know, towards the end of the stream and stuff. It's something I did bring in and I took away. It was too much going on for us in the tech department, so to speak. But yeah, that's an interesting one. I think that wouldn't it make it harder though for you when you were doing the review shows? Because you're going to have to kind of work that out behind the scenes where you can see with the goal difference.
I'll probably just stick to goal difference. To be fair,
I think you will. It will make it a lot easier for us, mate.
Look, I'm always open to because someone said to me, how do you stop teams quitting the league? And I said, well, you can't stop a kind of a mentality that a give up mentality.
Yeah.
How do you stop a team giving up because they haven't got the results they've desired? The reason we brought the championship national finals in is to give more teams opportunities to play in national tournaments. So regardless whether you do the grand finals or the championship finals, if you're picking up the trophy at the end, the feeling is still going to be the same. You're a winner. Well done. So that was brought in to give teams more encouragement to stay positive. But at the end of the day, if you're coming into this league, you should be performance minded. So the fact that you're dropping out because you either can't be bothered or you haven't got the results you've desired is an utter disgrace anyway. Because you're just wasting
save money.
Well, just wasting people's time. There's teams that would love to be in this league who couldn't be in the league, And it's kind of like, well, we're just going to drop out just because we can't be bothered anymore. And little Annie is on a ski trip and we can't be bothered.
I'll tell you what, if it's to do with money, I can truthfully say this, and Richard will back me up. Sometimes I live stream and it doesn't even cover cost. It's nowhere near it, is it, Richard? I'll still come back for next time. Money shouldn't be the thing there at all. If that is it,
it's not money because they're very aware of what they're getting themselves into. It's more to do with we just can't be bothered to turn up because we're going to get beat. And how you stop that mentality is a question that nobody will ever be able to answer.
It's true. So, it's true. It's
you can give as many as incentives as you want, but you can only lead a horse to water.
Again, yeah, I can't disagree with that statement, mate. 100%.
Well, one thing I'm doing before we go is I'm thinking of putting together a respect campaign for officials.
Oh, for umpires.
Yes, because netball is the same as every other sport. The officials get a nice amount of abuse, and
a nice amount.
Yeah, well, a nice amount in the sense that enough for them to kind of have to kind of be accountable for their actions. Well, you watch sports like football, and every week grassroots football is being demonized, and the parents are vulgar to the referees and the coaches are vulgar. But I can assure you, this is not a football thing.
Oh,
This is the same. We experience the same type of thing in netball, and I'm getting to a point where I'm getting really frustrated and annoyed because, unlike football, grassroots football, you can go back and analyze all the performances of every umpire in our league. And I've been doing this for 4 years, and not one club has ever presented me with any evidence on the live stream which are allowed to, if they've got a dispute, they're allowed to access free of charge. So it's not a money thing. So they can access it and they can identify where the umpire has gone wrong. So we can help, so we can improve the league. But that's never been done before. But still, we get the verbal insults. She's rubbish. They're rubbish. And it's not backed up by any evidence. So from that, I think I'm going to get some posters designed. And on the front of the door is going to be, if you've got, basically, during the match play, please be quiet. If you've got any issues with the umpire, the coaches raise it with us and then help us identify how we can improve our umpires. But for parents to sit on sidelines and just be vocally abusive towards umpires when they're just trying to do a job, I'd like to see what these people are like when they're working and someone's constantly being abusive towards them.
I've been a linesman. I've had my fair share of people say stuff to me in the football, and I've just turned around and given them my flag. So, well, you do it then. I ain't getting paid for this. There you go. You do it if you think you're better, don't I? And I think a lot of people will complain about stuff, especially when it comes to umpires. But you get up there and do it. Guarantee you won't like it. And, it takes a lot to umpire a game. And I have seen an influx of things happening or being said to the umpires. So I'm with you on this one, Richard. Nobody deserves to have any.
Unfortunately, football tries its best to stamp down on this type of behaviour. And they're fighting a losing battle, to be honest, because my brother runs a football academy and he's had to abandon games for 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds because of the abuse parents are giving.
Think of the people you are doing it to and the game of which it is.
But football does its best to try and clamp it down. They've got so many campaigns, it's a joke, but they can't, it's impossible. But sports like netball, and I can imagine this happens in most sports, they hide away from the reality of what actually happens. And I'm going to bring it to the forefront and I'm going to tackle it head on. And I'm going to say, enough's enough. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it. If you have a real issue with the level of umpiring, then you need to identify it, show us what you mean, and then we can help and improve the performance of the umpires. it's not rocket science, but the abuse has to stop.
Agreed. Again, just because things are working up, as in the game's getting really tense and all that, that's still not an excuse. I totally understand that if things are getting tight, you don't agree with something, but you haven't seen something, and you don't reckon the ref has seen it, and like you said, you can submit a query in about it, but chances are they have seen something else, and that's why they haven't given whatever. But yeah, it's tense out there. I understand, but it still gives you no right to be abusive to the umpires.
Just hold it in, just for this, because what happens is that bad attitude transfers to the children.
Yeah,
the children then start being abusive towards the umpires. Then it becomes a very toxic environment.
Yeah, well, I agree. Totally
again,
agree.
How many people go to work and have to deal with abuse? Not many. So just be a bit more considerate. It's not easy because sport is very tribal. But I think I need to start tackling the issue head on, because no one else is. Certain institutions and stuff just want to hide and pretend these things don't happen. But I'm going to try and tackle it head on.
Good lad. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just one quick thing. Was Steve actually saying girls and calling us girls as well, by the way?
Hope he hasn't misgendered me.
All right. On that note, people, thank you very much for watching. Do comment, do follow us. You know where we are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What's the other one? Instagram, I've already said that. Twitter. There we go. On all that. And like I say, let us know in the comments or anything else. We do keep up on it. We do track it and we do answer it. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. Goodbye from me.
See you later.